Howdy everybody. I wanted to make a video about the results, at least for the initiative measures for our state of Washington. Um, while the Trump win is a positive, our the people of the state voted away our liberties. First, we had a couple really big blows to liberties in our state of Washington, and they're going to need to be fought. We can't just trust, just say, Trump's in and yeah, everything's great, because while Trump has been voted to be the presidential, our president, we have lost our liberties here in our state at the same time. First here with Initiative 1433. This one raises the minimum wage, which is a bad thing. Lots of people might, there might be fewer jobs in the state because of this, or it might end up being that way, or everything's going to get more expensive. That'll be fun. Uh, but that's not the biggest blow to liberty. Initiative 1464, that didn't pass. That's good, because that was gonna force you to finance the political campaigns of everyone in your state. I know how much Democrats would love to fund Republican campaigns, and how Republicans would love to fund Democrat campaigns. Well as this was going to force, they were going to essentially raise taxes on Oregonians and force Oregonians to fund these people, fund people's political campaigns for our state. Here it is, probably, probably, uh, it's a challenge to decide if this one is the actual biggest blow to liberty of all. But Initiative 1491, which enables gun confiscation without any kind of criminal conviction. You don't even need to be suspected of an actual crime. Just someone has to think that you're dangerous, and they come and take your guns. There you have it. It's 71.24% versus 28.76%. It's a huge difference between yes and no, which makes me, I believe ignorance here is the reason, because, it's just the big, I see it as ignorance. It's a complete blow to liberty. And I also believe another reason why it was voted for in such huge numbers is because our loser Republican governor candidate supported Initiative 1491. He has a B rating for the NRA. I do not understand why or how a Republican could possibly have anything less than an A rating in the NRA. The NRA isn't even the most radical gun organization or gun rights organization that we have. And when you get less than an A for the NRA, that's like I mean, for just simply for liberty, that's practically, you might as well have an F. Here we go. Initiative 1501. I can't say I know too much about this. I voted no, probably good thing, because people who don't know anything about an initiative should vote no on the initiative. I believe it has something, you know, it it doesn't. It's not really about what it says. It's just makes it difficult, if not impossible, for organizations to inform union workers that they do not have to be forced, they do not have to pay union dues. They have a right to keep the money they earn without a union taking it from them. Initiative 732 didn't pass, which is a good thing, because that was a carbon tax, which, wow, I'm surprised that they have such a bad name for it, concerning taxes. That would have made everything way more expensive, and over like the next 10 years or less, it was going to make the tax on fuel be 125% tax. Around 125% tax. You'd be paying more in taxes than you would for the actual fuel. That would be very, this tax would be very, very extremely destructive to the economy. Initiative 735. Here it is. This is probably the most disappointing, and that's the reason why I was struggling to decide if Initiative 1491 was the biggest hit to Liberty, because Initiative 735 is a proposed amendment to the federal Constitution that repeals the First Amendment. You gotta imagine. I mean, you gotta think about that for a moment. About almost 64% of the people of our state believes in repealing the First Amendment. They believe that free speech isn't important. And the rest of these votes, I can't comment on. They're, well, maybe this last one, but they're just votes for whether or not you think the legislature made the right decision. And just tell them maybe it should be, the decision should be undone or maintained. Last one. This one has, talks about redistricting. It changes when or how many days before an election or whatever it can be done. I don't think it was too controversial. I don't know if it really matters much. So whatever, but there you go. Now you know that while Trump was elected, your liberties were stolen.